If you left your business tomorrow, no warning, no emails, no checking in, for 30 straight days, would it survive? If the answer is no, then what you've built isn't a business, it's a job. And I know that sounds harsh, but I've been on both sides of this. In a former life, I used to run parts distribution for Tesla's service centers. I was a senior manager overseeing every distribution center in North America. It was a 24/7 operation, making sure every Tesla service center had the parts it needed. My last year doing it, I made $630,000. But today, my wife and I run almost 30 Airbnbs, a 13-room hotel, and a media and education company. Collectively, our businesses generate multiple seven figures a year in revenue. And we could disappear for really an entire year and it would still keep running. The difference between those two lives? Systems. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework I use to go from managing someone else's systems for $630,000 a year to building my own that generate, again, multiple seven figures without me needing to be there every day. Whether you're running an Airbnb, a service business, an e-commerce store, or even a side hustle, what I'm about to share will change the way you think about building your business. And here's what's wild. I know business owners making $500,000 a year who can't take a single day off. And I know business owners making $200,000 a year who take off 2 months every summer. So the difference isn't revenue. It's not about how hard they work. It's whether they built systems or whether they are the system. And most people are building the second one without even realizing. And look, I've lived on both sides. When I was running distribution for Tesla, I had to build systems that worked whether I was in the building or not. I had hundreds of people across multiple sites running 24 hours a day. And if that operation depended on me personally being there to function, it would have collapsed on day one. But when I started building my own Airbnb business, I made the mistake that almost every entrepreneur makes. I tried to do everything myself. My wife and I were the ones responding to guest messages at midnight. We were the ones coordinating with cleaners. We were the ones tracking pricing and managing repairs and keeping mental notes about which property needed what. I mean, and that works when you have one or two or maybe even three properties, but it completely breaks when you try to scale. And here's why. The first thing that breaks is your brain. I mean, every process, every checklist, every little detail about your business, if it only exists inside your head, then every single day you're spending mental energy just trying to remember things instead of actually growing. The second thing that breaks is your quality. Without a documented process, the same task gets done differently every single time. Like, let me give you a real example. One of our properties had a trash pickup on a specific day each week, but there was a week where nobody set the bins out. Because there was no system, no checklist, no one assigned to make sure it happened, we missed the trash pickup. The trash piled up, a neighbor complained, the county showed up and hit us with a $1,000 fine. $1,000, because nobody put the trash cans at the curb. And the worst part, that's a problem that a 30-second checklist could have prevented. But when your process only lives in your head, stuff like this doesn't slip through once, it becomes the norm. We also had a permit expire at one of our properties because we had no system to track renewal dates. That costs us money too. These aren't freak accidents. This is what happens when you're running a business out of your brain instead of out of a system. And the third thing that breaks, it's your ability to grow, because you literally cannot delegate what isn't documented. If the process only lives in your head, then no one else can do it, which means you've built yourself a cage, not a company. And this, look, doesn't just apply to Airbnbs. This is any business. If you're a freelancer, a coach, a service provider, an agency owner, if the business stops when you stop, that's a systems problem. Now, here's where my background at Tesla actually became my biggest unfair advantage. And look, I don't know how much you know my backstory, but I got let go from my job on Christmas Eve. And I don't think most people will look at getting let go from a $630,000 a year job on Christmas Eve as an advantage, but stay with me. At Tesla, I was responsible for making sure that every part a service center needed was where it needed to be when it needed to be there. But my job wasn't to personally pick parts off of the shelves. My job was to build systems that allowed hundreds of other people to do things consistently, efficiently, and at scale. We built SOPs for how products came off the truck, SOPs for how things got picked off the shelves, systems to make sure that every single piece we picked actually made it into the truck. We measured damage rates. We optimized scheduling to squeeze the most value out of every hour of labor we had available. And here's one of the biggest things. I fought to hire a dedicated data analyst whose entire job was to help me visualize what was happening in the business. She built these incredible dashboards and Excel tools that allowed us to see things that would have slipped through the cracks otherwise. Things like managing the capacity of our warehouses. So we knew months in advance if we needed, a bigger building or excess capacity or to slow down shipments. And the foundation underneath all of that, it was clarity of expectations. Every building had specific metrics they needed to hit. Every shift within that building had metrics. Every single team member had individual metrics to hit. From the top all the way down to the person on the floor, everyone knew exactly what was expected of them and what targets they were working toward. Now, here's what gets even more interesting. When I left Tesla and started scaling our Airbnb portfolio, I realized something that most people never figure out. In corporate America, you're forced to think in a silo. You optimize for your specific role. So you're basically jockeying for position against other departments that don't share the same goals as you. At Tesla, there was a supply planning team whose job was to make sure parts were ordered based on demand. My job was to then receive those parts and ship them out to the service centers as needed. But they kept ordering based on demand projections without considering the actual physical constraints of my warehouse, right? We didn't have an unlimited amount of space. That tension, them trying to ship me more, me trying to take less, it created friction, constant. And that's what happens when everyone's optimizing for their own little box. And here's why this matters for you. Most of you watching this right now are doing the exact same thing, but maybe in your own business. Your marketing is running in one direction. Your operations are running in another. Your finances are in a completely different silo, or maybe not being paid attention to at all. Nobody's connecting the dots. And when no one's connecting the dots, money starts to fall through the cracks. But as a business owner, you don't get to think in silos. You have to optimize for everything. You have to optimize for the thing that actually matters, which is profit. And the only way to do that is to build systems that connect every part of your business so nothing falls through the cracks. That shift from thinking like an employee to thinking like a systems builder, that's the thing that changed everything for me. And it's the thing I want to teach you today. All right, really quick, if you're watching this, you're clearly very serious about building real cash flow with Airbnbs. So let me tell you something I wish someone would have told me before we built our portfolio to 30 plus properties and doing millions in revenue.
The difference between people who actually build a portfolio and people who are still researching 3 years from now is not information. It's having someone who's already done it look at your numbers and say, yes, this works, or no, walk away.
Because one bad market, one bad deal, that's easily a 30,000, a 50,000, sometimes a six-figure mistake. And we've watched it happen too many times. That is why we built Alpha Host Academy, our Airbnb mentorship program. You get a dedicated coach, our market selection framework, our deal analyzer, and we walk beside you from stuck where you are today to owning a cash flowing Airbnb.
And here's what we'll put on the table. Buy your first Airbnb within 90 days or you don't pay. That's the guarantee. We take the risk, not you.
So the link is in the description if you're ready. Now, back to what we were talking about before. So let me break down exactly how I built systems across every part of my real estate business, from acquisition all the way through management. And this isn't theory. This is the actual framework we use to run almost 30 properties without my wife and I, Sarah, needing to be involved in every single decision on a day-to-day basis. So step number one, write down everything. And I mean everything. Every task you do in your business, no matter how small, needs to get out of your head and onto paper. Think of it as a brain dump. What do you do when you're acquiring a property? What do you do when you're launching a new one? What do you do when you're analyzing a property? What about day-to-day management, guest communication, pricing, maintenance, cleaning coordination, all of it? For us, this looked like sitting down and mapping out every single stage of our business. And what we found was that there were literally dozens of processes, dozens, happening that only existed in our heads. Once we got them on paper, or in my case, I like to record videos, we could actually see the business for the first time. Step number two is to build your SOPs and checklists. Once you can see all the moving pieces, you start documenting the process for each one. And look, I'm going to be specific here because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. But we built an SOP for investor conversations, literally an outline for what those conversations should look like, what questions to ask, and what happens when someone says, yes, they do want to invest. We built a property launch checklist. Every single box that we needed to check to go from we just closed on a property to having our first guest walk through the door. Everything from setting up utilities, applying for the permit, getting our insurance, to photographing the space and ordering all the design elements and getting things like linens and towels and sheets and creating the listing. We built a checklist for actually creating the listing itself, all the settings, the details, the little things you don't want to miss, like adding your cleaning fee. We even built a shopping list for all of the household essentials that you need when you're sitting down to set up a property. So we can just go to Amazon, click one button to load that list up, and it's all there for us. And by the way, the last two things I just mentioned, the property launch checklist and the shopping list, we're giving those away for free. So I put a link in the description of this video, so go grab those now. But those are the exact same ones we use across our portfolio. Now, step three is to build your dashboards. This is the one that most people skip, and it's the one that made the biggest difference for me personally, because it's one thing to have checklists. It's another thing entirely to have visibility into what's actually happening across your business. I created a pricing dashboard that lets us track our pricing strategy over time. what changes we were making, and the actual impact those changes were having on revenue. I built a property tracker board that has every single detail about every property we own, the insurance documents, the closing paperwork, the make and model of every appliance that we have, the serial numbers for our modems and our routers, video walkthroughs of every property and the interior and the exterior. Now, why does all of that matter? Because when something breaks, and something will break, you don't want to be scrambling to remember, now, which property has the dishwasher where you put the, this thing, and what's the insurance policy on that one? And, you want your team to be able to pull up a dashboard, find the answer in 30 seconds, and handle it without calling you. Step 4 is to assign owners, not tasks. This is something that most small business owners get backwards. They delegate tasks. Hey, can you do this one thing? But then the next time that thing comes up, the person has to come back and ask again. Instead, you assign ownership of systems. You assign ownership of results. Your cleaner doesn't just clean one property after one guest. They own the entire turnover process for the properties assigned to them. Your virtual assistant doesn't just answer one message. They own guest communication across your portfolio, and even more so, guest experience. When you assign ownership instead of tasks, people take pride in their piece of the business. They start optimizing it themselves. They start to catch things that maybe you would have missed. And suddenly, you are no longer their bottleneck. Step 5 is the one that ties all of this together. Hire the right people and let the systems do the training. When your processes are documented, when your checklists are built, when your dashboards are in place, bringing on new team members becomes incredibly fast. You're not spending weeks training someone from scratch. You're handing them a system and saying, follow this. That's exactly how we built our team. Between our virtual assistants, our cleaning teams, our maintenance team, our revenue management team, everyone works seamlessly together. Not because they're all geniuses, though they're all incredibly smart people, but because the systems tell them exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Guys, so let me just kind of paint a mental picture of what the other side looks like, because I think it's important to see where the systems actually take you. About 6 years ago, I was working my W-2 at Tesla. Senior level role, massive responsibilities, and again, an operation that ran 24/7 across multiple sites across the country. And I truly remember hating Sunday nights because the grind of the week was about to start all over again. I was trading 2 short weekend days for 5 long weekdays. And that felt miserable. But today, Sunday nights don't feel any different than the rest of the week. And that's a good thing. Now, obviously, as an entrepreneur, I might open my laptop, do a little bit of work, but it feels different because I'm choosing to do it. Nobody's making me. My wife and I could step away from our real estate business for really, at this point, a very long time, and it would keep running. Our team handles everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Like last Tuesday, we took our kids to Disneyland at 11 in the morning. Not because it was a vacation day, not because I asked for PTO or anyone for permission, but because I wanted to. And the business kept running while we were on It's a Small World. Guys, and here's the thing about systems that nobody tells you. They don't just give you your time back, they compound. The time I got back from systematizing our Airbnb business, that's what allowed us to buy a hotel and the media company and our coaching program. Every system you build doesn't just solve one problem. It opens the door to the next level. We went from buying our first Airbnb to almost 30 properties in a hotel in about 5 years. That doesn't happen by working harder. That happens by building systems that scale. And look, I'm not telling you any of this to brag. I'm telling you this because 6 years ago, I was a person who would have been watching a video exactly like this one, wondering if this was actually possible, wondering if there was a way to build something that didn't require me to trade every waking hour for a paycheck. And the answer is yes, but it starts with systems. It starts with getting the process out of your head, onto paper, and into dashboards, and into the hands of people who can execute them without you. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Tony, that sounds great, but my business is different. I can't just hand everything off. And look, I hear you, but let me push back on that for a second. The thing I learned from working at Tesla and from lean manufacturing is this ideology that we followed is this. Everything, for the most part, can be systematized in some way. So the real question isn't whether your business can have systems. The real question is whether you're willing to do the work up front to build them. Because here's the truth, building systems is slow at first. It feels like extra work on top of everything else you're already doing. But once they're in place, they compound. Every system you build gives you back time. And that time compounds into more systems, more freedom, and more growth. When I was at Tesla, I was always looking for opportunities to make something 1% better. That's what lean manufacturing teaches you. And I've carried that now into everything else that I do. Not huge overhauls, just small, consistent improvements to how things run. And over time, those 1% improvements stack up into a business that operates without you. So here's what I want you to do after this video. Pick one process in your business, just one, and write it down, every step from start to finish. Then figure out Who besides you could do that? And start handing it off. That one action is the beginning of building a business that works for you instead of the other way around. And look, if you want a head start, don't forget, I put a link to our property launch checklist and our shopping list in the description. Go grab those for free. They're the same tools we use in our portfolio today. And if you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe because we put out content like this every single week that helps you build real wealth through real estate. That's it for today, guys. I'm Tony. She is Sarah, and we are the Real Estate Robinsons.